I have a friend has a sinus infection. I wanted to show him something that really turned the tables for me, and it was actually air filtration. I had 2 sinus surgeries. All my young life, from the time I was probably 18 years old to my mid-20s, I had sinus infections every few weeks, and I couldn't get rid of them. I could take antibiotics to make them be fixed, but they were reoccurring. And there were a couple reasons for that. One, I have really picky sinuses, and 2, I live in a state where I have hills like that. Sagebrush, 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 sagebrush. What's the problem with sagebrush? Oh, nothing, except I'm allergic to it. And it's on every single hill in Southern California, including the ones way back there, the ones behind me, the ones over there. What do I do? Well, it's really simple. You have to filter it somehow. You have to filter all that air. There's no way around it. Because if you don't, you're sick as a dog. So, I want to show you one thing, an answer that I had, one thing that I did to actually fix this problem. It's a knockoff of a sharper image ionic breeze, but I actually like the knockoff better, and for a couple of reasons. One is that it has three ionic charging wires instead of 2. 2 is that the negatively charged foils are not foils; they are bars of stainless steel that are about 0.035 gauge, and they are one solid piece rather than this hollowed out deal that collects water, everything else. And on these things, most of the time your electronics are down here. So this means if that collection grid ever gets wet, it takes out your transformer down there. Good luck, goodbye, $200 or so Ionic Pro. I don't know how much they're going for these day and age, but back in the day when I got them, they were about $150. Well, anyway, these work on the principle that you have things falling all over my room. You have 3 wires, and these are very high voltage ionically charging wires, and they charge the air as it goes in, and then what happens is that the air is ionically charged positively, and then it's pulling ions from the stainless steel, which is negatively charged at that point, and it makes a current. It's not very high current. It's maybe 15-20 cubic feet per minute. Okay? But what it does do also is it attracts every little piece of dust in about a 3-foot radius like a magnet. You may see the dust on this side. On the outlet, there is dust. How is there dust on the outlet? Simple. The dust is going like that. Actually, against the airflow of the Ionic Pro. That means that any dust that is positively charged going into this room is going to stick to this, and anything by it, like this, and this, and this. That's right. The reason this is on a wire grate. That's right, because this whole thing is now positively charged. And by making this whole thing positively charged, it grabs every piece of dust out of the air, except the really coarse and some of it. So you still needed another kind of air filtration. So that's stage 2. Perpendicular to the airflow of this, right behind here, is a HEPA, a high efficiency particle arrestor. But it has a couple changes. Let's break it out, shall we? That's just the sound pad so it doesn't rub against the wall. Okay, so this is your normal Holmes type A or type D filter HEPA, with one exception. It's got 2 layers of charcoal-backed 3M filters. 2 of them, okay? And it's put on the grill, okay? Inside of there is a HEPA filter. And the HEPA filter that comes with it, unfortunately, the top and the bottom are not glued. Dust will get right through them. And I ended up with dust like here, and that's a place I didn't clean up, was right where this power switch is. And I ended up with dust, like here. You can still see a little bit where I tried to clean it but didn't go. And I was wondering, why was it getting dust through a HEPA filter? Well, there is an explanation for that. Alright, you may see my darts I'm making for my 2K that I'm working on at the moment, and this is a Holmes type A filter. Okay, the problem with this filter is that the top, where it pleats, and the bottom are not glued. You do have serrations in the plastic, but they're counting on the vacuum to create the plastic seal, and it doesn't seal against the paper media very well. Let's break this out and show you what I did to it. Because the one in here and this replacement one, I did the same location. As you can see, it's a nice replaceable filter. It's got a solid silicone glue all around on the back side, but on this side over here, let's try to get this, not easy. On this side over here, now you can see that doesn't move. See how I pull the filter and it doesn't move, right? Well, it used to. So I had to take a layer of go-to glue, okay, and I had to basically, this side, pour go-to glue between each of these slits, dry it one day, and then this side, pour go-to glue each side of the slits, dry one day. Now, air does not bypass the paper media. Now, if you had done this, if they had done this, it would have been a much better filter, but it would have cost probably $10 more a piece to have, and these are already like $13 a piece. So as you can see, I'm quite discerning. It's an expensive system. I mean, the Ionic Pro I've had for a long time, but this really does help. Before this, I had a paper media. Not paper media. I had a charcoal media filter like this, which was basically a household pet odor filter, and it would only work for like 2 or 3 days. This works for a whole month. These two filters taped to this, totally airtight, 3M extreme packing tape all the way around it. And it just, it's so much better. Like, ever since I had done this, I can have the window open at night, and it picks up every bit of dust that goes in. And this is a really dusty environment Southern California is. Let's put this back. I would show you back there, but it's not a lot of light, and it's not easy to see. But behind the TV is the inflow. Here's your HEPA. Your inflow's here. The air going into here, it runs completely into the path of this. So I'm not blowing air through the Ionic. What I'm doing is more blowing it around it. So any particle that needs to be charged can be run into these wires and can be charged. And it does really help pick up the really fine micron stuff. Now, a HEPA filter is really good for picking up the larger particles, even particles in the submicron level, but not the really fine particles. And there's a lot of really fine particles that will even blast right through a HEPA in Southern California. And an Ionic Pro or a Sharper Image Ionic Breeze, they really do help a lot. The only problem is you can't like stock up on like 10 of these, because if you do, you'll have a ton of ozone in your room. Because it's ionic, it creates ozone. Not a lot of ozone, but a little. Just enough that you got to worry about it. So the nice thing about the carbon filters is it does break down a lot of that, and it does. My room does smell really nice and fresh all the time. But yeah, I have issues. Well, Jack, get well. Another issue I have is my eating issues. That will be another video where I will show you that in every supermarket, let's say a supermarket has 24 aisles of food, I can probably eat in that whole place, all the products in that supermarket, I may be able to eat 3/4 of an aisle of food in there. Okay, that is how rare edible food is for me. It's hard. I've had this disorder since I was a little kid, and I just can't eat anything. And it really sucks because, you know, food gets expensive. It gets boring, tiring. Food's not something I necessarily enjoy as much as other people. I can eat maybe 7 things for dinner, and that's it. It's really sad. If I go to a restaurant, there may be 1 or 2 things on the menu of a general, like a Chili's or a Coco's or a Caro's or a Bob's Big Boy that I can eat. Bob's Big Boy, let me give you an example. What can I eat Bob's Big Boy? The French fries, the chicken fingers, usually I can't eat the chicken because they won't give me all drumsticks. But it has to be all drumsticks if it's fried chicken. Okay, I can eat the pancakes, the waffles, the hash browns, The ham steak. They make great ham steak. If you ever go to the Bob's Big Boy on Alameda Rose, everything else, that's it. No hamburgers, no salad, no raw fruits, no raw vegetables, no. Oh yeah, that is my life. That is my life. It's really sad. It's been that way all my life. So anyhow, take care. I hope you get better. I think you should maybe invest in a high efficiency particle arrestor. They really do help a lot, and they're not that expensive. You just got to be discerning about it. Peace.